My head, my shoulder, my knees, my toes. My head, my shoulder, my knees, my toes. My head, my shoulder. My head, my shoulder, my knees, my toes. My head, my shoulder, my knees, my toes. They all belong to Jesus. Can we shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up? Thank you. Can we sit? It's nice to be here, and I'm honored to stand before every one of us to speak. And I would want to say a very big thank you to the organizer and to my dear friend and sister, Peace Elechi, for giving me this opportunity to stand here to talk about what I do on daily basis. When you wake me up, this is me. When I sleep, this is me. When I'm eating, this is me. So it's a delight to be here to talk about it. Today, I'll be talking about how to handle children. Just like she has said, I'll be building on what she started talking about and from the movie. She talked about understanding yourself as a parent, understanding your spouse. And then we're going to be talking about understanding your children. Every child is unique. What did I say? You are unique. Every child. You might have 3 children. If you check them out, they are not the same. True or false? Now, when I counsel young mothers today, I tell them, I said, before your child is born, take time to know yourself. Take time to know your husband. And then, while during courtship, pregnancy, take time to know your family history. Take time to know the history of your what? Husband, your in-laws. So when things start presenting, you are not far-fetched. You know where it's coming from. Now, when you give birth to a child, right from the day you give that child comes into your family and you name that child, the child has started displaying some characteristics of either you or your husband or someone from your lineage. True or false? True or false? So, I just became a mother after trusting God for a while, and God blessed me with a wonderful son. And right from the day he was born, 2 days after, I saw traits of me, and I saw traits of the father. I said, okay. And I was ticking the boxes. This is your father. And I was ticking my boxes. This is me. And I was telling my mother-in-law, hey, tell me, how was the father? And she would tell me, hey, okay, I'm seeing it. And she's like, this is just a week-old baby. I said, Mommy, don't worry. I know what I'm seeing. And today, I'm able to say he's 9 months, but I can tell you things that he has already started taking from me. So when they are calling me in school, and they are saying that you have a boy that talks too much, I won't be worried. Yes, I won't. I won't say, oh no, because when I'm going to school, I will go tell the teacher, even before I register, this is my child. He loves to play. He loves to sing. He loves to, when he's eating, he loves you to do this. When he's a very active child. He does not like boredom. He's like me. You cannot keep him, and everywhere he just realizes that everybody is quiet. He must do something, and you will start talking. He likes when he's active, he's singing, he's playing. He wants to do things for himself. I'm seeing me. And I see the aspect of his dad about him, right? And I'm also doing what? Channeling it. There's this one I don't like about you that is in your father. Let us see how we are going to rearrange it. There's this part of me that I'm seeing about you in me. Let's see how to do what. So that's to say that parents, mothers, we don't take time to study our children. It is until when our attention is drawn, that's why we now begin to say, really, let me take a look. Yes, it's our duties as mothers. Trust me, the fathers don't understand. Their own is just to provide. But if you know your child, you'll be able to do what? Carry. So there are times when my husband is not around and I carry him along. See what our son did today. telling him that because I also want him to do what? Have an understanding. When I have anybody come around to visit me, you must know who you are coming to stay with. I tell you about myself, what I like and what I don't like, what my husband likes, and what my son likes and does not like, and what the other foster child I have with me likes and does not like, so that you won't get into trouble with anybody. How many of us have done that? Or how many of us do that? Or how many of us did that? So they always say, the day you learn something, that's your morning, it starts. So it's never too late. So today I'll be talking about handling children with developmental, behavioral delays. Please, can I have my slide on? And learning disabilities. So it means that you might have a child that might have developmental delay, slow delay. Maybe when it's time for the child to sit, the child did not sit. When it was time for the child to start talking or walking and eating by himself or herself, talking, doing certain things for himself or herself, there are delays. But the thing is, will they achieve it? Yes. It's just a matter of you as the mother, a matter of the environment and the people around supporting the child. We have children with behavioral concerns. And like I say to everybody, we all have behavioral concerns, true or false? We all have. So why is it that when the children now displays and then we are all agitated? We all have. So children have. How do we address it so that it does not become a problem to them and the society? Now, we also have children who have learning disabilities. It means that in school, Ms. Peace talked about learning styles of children, how they learn. Right? We have the visual, we have the auditory, we have the kinesthetic learners. And that means that these children, they may have a form of learning challenge. Does not mean that they cannot learn. I've worked with children that can't talk, but they learn. And they communicate. Now, you have a baby. How do you know when your baby is hungry? Does your baby start talking? They use some form of behavior, cry, whining, smile, some kind of things for you to know that this is my child. When your child is wet, as a mother, you don't need anybody to tell you that your child has poo. True or false? I know. Once I just come back, I'll say, when I look at his face, I'll say, this boy, there's likely that he's going to poo. Put him inside his this thing. My son, when he wants to poo, he doesn't want you to carry him. I had to understand that. He doesn't want you to hold him. You will see him struggling, and you'll be like, what's wrong with this boy? Just leave him on the bed. Once he's kicking his leg, he's free. He will poo freely. Now he has started trying to walk. You put him inside this thing, he's moving. Once he gets in there, in the next 5 minutes, he has pooed. He doesn't want you holding him. He's not the child that wants to be. He wants to be free. He wants to explore. So when you have a child, you have to understand the different aspects. The development of the child, the behavioral aspect of the child, and the learning aspect of the child. Thank you. The next slide, please. Next one. Okay, so we'll be talking about understanding developmental challenges. When we talk about delays are difficulties, right? Developmental delays are when things are not happening at the right time of development. Like I said, will it happen? Yes. It's just a matter of time. And it's not about like when I was just about moving from one church to another, one mosque to another, and doing all of that. It takes you as the parent, the mother, to be intentional, to identify the gaps, and create the right environment and settings to help the child. Now we have different types of developmental challenges. For parents, if you attend your child's open day seminars in school, I'm sure you'll be hearing of autism now in meetings. Do you hear of it? Parent meeting, do you hear of it? Do you think it was not in our time? You think it's just something that started? I'm talking, do you think it's just something that just started? Autism has been for years. It's just that the environment we had then was able to what? help children to thrive. We all were, there was no issue of security. If you like, live in a flat and live in a bungalow, but we always have a community setting, isn't it? Which is always where? There's always a tap in the area. There is always a football field in the area for children to play. When you go to school, when there was not, we didn't really have this private school. It was more of, okay, you're going to a government school, and those government schools had equipped teachers. Growing up, we had teachers that were in preschool. If you are not a mother or a grandma, you can't be a preschool teacher. True or false? Nowadays, 13 years old is class teacher preschool. What does she know? How can she help? So a mother was actually at the basics of what? Education, learning. So when you bring children, even when your child cannot do, you hear them say, don't worry. Just 1 week your child will eat. 1 week your child, and it's true. Before you know it, what happens? Your child begins to pick up those skills. But right now, we don't have that environment. We don't have that community. So that's why it's looking as if autism just started now. It just looks as if children with learning disabilities just started some few years ago. No. You remember when we were growing up, they used to sing Olodo Rabata, Ojo Jalo Monje, Oni Mawemo. Abi? Do you know who they used to, those people they used to sing it for? They usually sing it for those people that we refer today as intellectual disability. Initially, it was called mental retardation. They now changed it to what? They coined it to look beautiful. Intellectual disability. Olodo Rabata. You remember, if you remember very well, there are children or friends that you grew up with in class. When they got to primary 4, 5, their parents removed them and took them to mechanic. Isn't it? At primary school. Because no matter what they do, they were not what? They were not learning. They would just go to school. And the parents just felt at this point, there's no need going to secondary school. Just from this primary school, go to and learn a trade. Now, they've gone to learn a trade. Do you know they are there for 5 years? They've not learned something tangible. True or false? And then you see them there. Other people would come, learn and go. They are the ones that they'll be using them to do caricature. Isn't it? They are the ones that they hit them on the head. They make them dance. They were there. But today, if you go back down the line, you see that they've actually made something good out of their life. They are married today. They have children. They are able to run a home. So why is it now? Why is it looking as if we can't help? So when we're talking about autism, ASD, we have them, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. These are children that the attention span is so short. When you are teaching in class like I'm teaching now, the only thing they must have heard is the greeting I did. They've traveled. They are in a world of their own. They are very hyperactive. They can't stay. You can see children. They are staying. You can still mime. These ones, you can't stay. They are always everywhere. Impulsive, touching things. And we have those with speech and language delay. 3, 4 years, they are not talking, and we're worried. Why are they not talking? We have those with global developmental delay. That means the delay affects not just one aspect. It affects behavioral, it affects academics, it affects their gross motor skills. They are not able to move. It affects their hands, fine motor skills, things they could do with their hand. They can't eat. They don't even know when to use the restroom. They can't do certain things, so it's global. And then we have those with the learning disorders. Those are the ones that, you see them, nothing is wrong with them, but they don't understand. When it comes to dyslexia, like this movie we watch, the boy had dyslexia. So, he was good with other skills, music, arts, right? But he wasn't good with what they were teaching, reading, comprehending. Not that if they had helped him from the start, he wouldn't have read. He would. But he may not be at the expected level with him and his what? Peers. We have dyscalculia. We have those children that maths is not something they want to do. Anything maths, off. But bring other subjects. They're very good at it. Right? So we have different learning. Please, can I have the next slide? So I think I'll be giving a sign like this, media. So I won't keep saying, can I have this next slide? Once you see my hand like this, you just know that I need the next slide. Thank you. All right, so we're going to be looking at recognizing early signs. What are the early signs that you get to see in children? They have limited speech. You see a child of 2 years, 3 years, they are not saying words that they are supposed to say. Yes. Some of them, the only word they must have said is mama, dada. Some didn't even say it. Some are still using signs to communicate with you and crying and all of that. Right? Now we have those with another sign that you get to see is short attention span. Their attention is very short. When you are talking to them, they are not listening. So in class, imagine that you are talking to your child one-on-one, and you are saying, Bola, stand up, go and bring that chair and come here. Bola goes and then saw something else and saw this fan. Oh, this fan is so beautiful. Who kept it here? And left. Whatever you had said, I tell you, it's not even on. And you are trying to talk and the child is not listening. And you keep saying, this child is a disobedient child. This child, you are too stubborn. You don't listen. You're not able to detect that that child has a problem with attention. They have poor eye contact. They don't look at you. They can't look at you when you're talking. We have adults like that. True or false? They can't look at you when you're talking. They will be putting their heads down. Some of them, they don't play. They have limited social play. When they get into an environment, they are always on their own. It takes a lot before they can bond. Some of them have repetitive behaviors, whereby you can just see them sit down, and the next thing they just stand up and turn around. And you'll be like, you know that? Look. What's going on with this child? Some of them, you just see them, they stand up and they just start flapping their hands. Those repetitive behaviors occurs from time to time. In a space of 30 minutes, could occur like 3-4 times. Some of them rock. Don't we have adults that rock? Don't we? We have. Sensory sensitivity. Some of them, like this, they can't. They just cover their ears. Some of them don't like you touching them, but they want to touch you. I have children that I work with. They don't want your hands on them, but they can touch you. Some of them, texture. They don't like, they have a kind of texture they want. Textures like this might trigger them. Texture with food. Some of them just like to eat pureed food. Some of them prefer to swallow. Some of them don't like to chew. So they select what they eat. You can see texture. Texture even also with fabrics, with clothes. There are certain clothes that they don't want to wear. There are certain shoes that they don't want to wear. So when you begin to see, I'm not saying that there are some children that they may exhibit these signs with sensory. It does not mean that they are special. So let's not take it down. Now the diagnosis. How do we get to know these children? It is not just by seeing a child. You know that the child has concerns. You cannot just look at a child and say, the way I'm seeing this child, like this child have dyslexia. And that's what is happening now. I go into schools, and for the fact that a child cannot read, they've labeled the child dyslexia. For the fact that a child is slow, they say, this one is behaving like autism. Nobody has patience anymore. Nobody wants to groom anyone. I have a little boy that, came around to stay with me. And when he came, I identified some gaps in him. You know why? He's coming from the rural area. And you don't expect a child deep down in the village to come in here and look like a city child. True or false? He was timid. He was scared. When he sees people, you see the way he couldn't even look at you to greet. Like, speak English. He can speak, but to him, when he heard the English that was going on in Lagos, the young boy said, I don't think that I can fit in. Right? And then every morning I'll tell him in this house, don't speak any dialect to me. We are going to speak English. And I instructed everybody, speak English to him. Whether you want to, you must speak in English. So use my baby and be practicing how to speak English. Now when he's speaking and we are hearing the wrong ones, we are correcting him. We are correcting him with love. When I say, gosh, nonsense, this thing. Today, come and see him. He just came September. But you need to see the boldness he has now. I remember one of the days we went out to the supermarket and a child, one chubby boy like this just came back and said, hello. And he was looking at the boy like this, like, He was looking at the boy like this. And the boy came to me and said, I love your dress. And he was looking at the boy like this, like, And I said, somebody is greeting you. Say, hi, good morning, hello. To him, it was strange. Like, why is this boy? And then I told him, I said, this is how they behave here. When you see people, you reciprocate. And then you have to start talking. You have to express yourself. You cannot see somebody and run away. Now, that child goes into a school. What would they say that child has? Maybe the child was mute for 1 week because the boy can't speak the kind of English. What would they say? Autism. They'll say this boy has one leg disorder. But trying to look at for children identifying. Now, there's a child that I saw potentials of him being able to read and understand. But he came from a place where reading was not something that was firm for him. But in my house, you must wake up. When you wake up in the morning, pray and brush your teeth. You must read before you go to school. When you come back, you must read. Now, I had to create that environment to do what? To groom him. And by doing that, what did I do? I boosted his confidence. Yes. I boosted his confidence rather than making him feel, you just came from the village. And most times we try not to compare him. We try not to let him feel like you are coming from the village. And sometimes as parents, we do it. You compare your children. Look at your brother. Look at your sister. If you see myself and my siblings, we are worlds apart. I am very expressive. I can get into a place and act like I have been there before, like I know people. But my siblings are not like that. They are reserved. You will be you can talk to them for 1 hour. They will just give you one line of sentence. And growing up, I'm always agitated. In fact, even up till now, it's now a bit, like, I'm talking, they will just say one word, and that's the end. If you like, kill yourself, they're not ready. But me, I'm the talkative. Me, I'm the one that is very expressive. But the truth is, we all came from the same womb. But we are what? Different. They have their peculiarity. My sister is a very neat person, very organized. She can tidy up. Me, I'm scattered. Yes, I'm very scattered. She will finish eating and she'll wash the me. I'll just keep the plate there. But when it comes to doing, so she has that mindset that when you are trying to now make her change and say, don't follow, she likes routine, and you are saying, don't do this, you're on your own. No. Still yesterday, I was still trying to talk to her. There's a way she plans herself. And to me, I'm like, are you using your head to think? That's because I'm like this. I'm always on the spot. I'm always on the go. So for her, she will sit down and plan things in a way that when I sit down, I'll be angry. And I'll be like, you don't know you're an adult. Why are you doing like this? But I've come to realize that that's who she is. All I can just do is say it and allow her to make her choice. When she makes her choice and she does well, she would use it. When she doesn't, who goes for it? But I've done my part to do what? Than shouting. Yes, I used to shout before. I'll get so agitated, angry. But the truth is, it's not working. With children, it's the same thing. How do you keep shouting on a child? The truth is, the moment you shout on a child, confidence gone. You went to school, they reported your child, and the first thing you are doing, you have not heard from the child. You have done what? You didn't even hear the child out. Do you know whether the child understood the lesson? Do you know whether the teacher taught using the child's style and the child understood? Well, if you make the child understand, they will do better. You have a child that have difficulties with eating. What are you doing about it? Do you understand that you need to teach step by step? First, you need to know how to hold a spoon. Okay, let's go together. Let's eat. I've taught the first step of doing what? Holding a spoon. So whether the child is eating or not, I want to help the fine motor skills. What will I do? What will I do? I'll keep spoons. I'll keep things that would help the child to do what? To grasp. Now we want to teach children to eat. When you hold the spoon, how do? You put in your mouth. But the truth is, when we've done that for 1 month, we are tired. Children develop at different stages of their life. Now, the diagnosis is not just by seeing them. You need to meet a pediatrician. A teacher in the classroom does not have the right to diagnose a child. It may look like autism. It's not autism. It may look like ADHD. And it might not be what? ADHD. We've had challenges like this before. Where I've been called, come and see, they say this child has the ADHD. And I'm like, please, can I see assessment. Where is the assessment that the child did? And I say, no, our ADHD children, they don't used to listen, they don't concentrate, they don't do this. Meanwhile, that might not just be it. There might be other environmental factors that could be affecting the child. Now, medical history. I talked about it when we started. You need to find out what are the family history, what are the medical history. Now we get to see these children when I get to meet with parents and I want to assess a child. The first question I ask is, tell me about your pregnancy. Tell me pre-pregnancy, what happened before you became pregnant. There were some people that were actually on herbal drugs. There were some people that maybe they were trying to conceive and they took some kind of drugs and whatever to help their hormones, isn't it? Fertility drugs. Now, not knowing that they have taken in, right? Some of them, that's why self-medication is bad. Some of them, probably they were taking self-medication, they were pregnant, 3 months they did not know, and they took drugs that they were not supposed to take. So when we want to first of all, we will tell you, refresh your mind back from before you became pregnant. Then while you were pregnant, did you have anything like gestational diabetes? Have we heard of it before? Is diabetes that happens when a woman is pregnant? Did you have anything like anemia? Were you hospitalized? Did you have infection? Do you know infection can cause this? Thank God you know. Oh, did you have high blood pressure? These things are things that could do what? Spike up. Now, another thing. Our Hebrew women. I want to deliver like the Hebrew women. If I did not push, I cannot come and stand here and say, praise the Lord. I want to tell you that I delivered like an Hebrew woman. Sometimes when I hear it, I'm like, so who is the Pharaoh woman? Who is the Egyptian woman? Eh? Okay, those people that did CS, they are not Hebrew. They are Egyptians. Eh? Because I don't understand. People want to go through, I push. I went through labor. No. That's where some of them come from. When a child have gone through stress. And let me tell you, as a first-time mother, your labor pain is longer. Second child is better. In first pregnancy, true or false? Oh my God. And if you are not well equipped and informed, the nurses there will not tell you. There is a time when you are supposed to push. You use there are times when they are telling you don't push. But because of the way the thing is coming, you don't, there's a feeling, that pressure. You can't hold it. See, you have to hold it. Because any moment, anything you do at that point can affect the child. Some children have gone through stress before you gave birth to them. Some of them, while they are coming out, cord. The umbilical cord has done what? Some of them, when they come out, maybe in the course of coming out, they were not on the floor, head. Some, while the doctor or the nurse is trying to help, cut and, they'll be using their hand to help. The ones that are not experienced, God help you. It is a roadside nurse that was on duty that day, and they help. I had a parent I met, and she said, my pregnancy was a swift one. I got married 2 months after. I took in. No problem, no treasure. My pregnancy was smooth. I worked till the last day of work. That's to tell you how strong I was. But at the point of delivery, she went to the hospital. And they were saying, Madam, you'll be climbing staircase. Come down. Walk up, walk down. And then she was walking up, she was walking down. The moment she was resting, you are resting. You better stand up. Up, down. And as she was going up, they refused to listen to her. The baby's head was already out. So as she was walking, her legs were what? So as at the time she gave birth to the child, the children, they are very fragile. The head had what? Squeezed. And that's how she came out with a child with special needs at the child of delivery. So that's something that we should know. Now, another thing is genetics. Yes, so these children, proud to now, people just feel it is witches and wizards. People just feel it is Ogbanje. People feel, but now genetics also. So there are some genes that you have, and with technology now, I tell people before you get married, there are different tests. It's not only a genotype. Did you check for resource factor before you got married? How many of us checked? I did. Did you check for resource factor? Aside from resource factor, there are other things that you should do what? You should check. Your husband should go and check and understand your... Are there things that you should correct before you take in? You understand? So some of these things are what? Genetics. It may not happen in your in-laws. Maybe 5 years before, 5th generation before your own. So that's why I said you have to find out the history. Now, what is that? What are the role of parents when we have children like this? Now, you might not have a child directly, but indirectly you might have your friend, your cousins, your family, isn't it? Growing up, I was told that it's not only the person that gave birth to you that is your parent, but today, it's only your mother and your father that is your parent. True or false? Yes, that is why we don't correct any child again. You are seeing a child, you just keep quiet because you're not the one that gave birth to the child. Even we that we are teachers, our hands are what? Your role is be the teacher that you are, and let me be the parent. But I was not brought up like that. I was brought up by teachers who were mothers and fathers to me. And when there is need to discipline you, they discipline you. So parents are partners in intervention. What did I say? We are partners. You are not supposed to feel that you have a child and the school is where they help children. First, you are the one to teach your child. She talked about my home and I. It starts from you understanding yourself, your spouse, and then what spiritual guidance do you give to them? What room do you create for your children? If you want your child to be well behaved, it starts from you. How your child should eat should start from you. How your child should sit and talk should do what? It's not because you have paid school fees that it is the work of the teacher to teach your child how to behave. No. So as parents, we are partners in helping our children when we identify gaps with them. First of all, we have to provide a structured and predictable routine. Now, we have talked about the different, she talked about the different personalities that we have, right? Now, as a mother, you know yourself. Are you the scattered one? If you are the scattered one, can you get somebody to help plan activities in your home to ensure it helps your child? Or would you want your child to be scattered like you? Mothers that are scattered, do you want your child to be scattered like you? So like I say, we want you to prepare. I'm talking about preparing a structured environment. What is a structured environment? At home, I grew up with a structure that you wake up and pray before you go and brush your teeth and bathe. That was it. I grew up in a home that when you wake up, first thing, you must say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for waking me this morning. Before you think of anything. Do we have that kind of structure? Today, please take BC to go and bathe 6 a.m. Tomorrow, BC will eat by 8, but we'll bathe by 8 a.m. We're not creating structures. Let the child be able to know that when I wake up, this is what? The first thing I do. Now I talked about, I had the child I have, and when he came, I sat him down. And I told him, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you should do, when you wake up, pray. Do you know how to pray? Doesn't know. Come, let me teach you how to pray. So we learned how to pray for 2 weeks. Every day, when you wake up, come and meet me where I am. And be what? I'll be telling him, tell God, thank you for making me to wake up. Thank you. Do you know why? Because that's it. I want him to understand that prayer is very important. Is that not a structure and a routine? Then when you finish, open your mouth and greet. Good morning. No, if you greet and the person did not answer, you greet again until the person answers you. So sometimes if greets, I pretend as if I'm not here. He will stand there. Good morning, ma. I want to know whether what I've taught him. And then say good morning, I say good morning. When you are done with that, what's the next routine? Go and bathe, dress up, and read your book before you leave to school. Before you leave to school, this is your lunch bag. pack your water, pack your snacks, come to the kitchen, carry your food. The day you go to school without snacks, or yours is your case. Because I have given you your snacks. If you take 2 snacks, me and your mother have planned already that these snacks will go for 2 weeks. God help you. I'm not the one to give you. Go and take the snacks. You go and take 2. What will happen to you on Thursday? Am I creating a structure? Do we do that for our children? Now, it is not only with children that are special. I'm not here to only talk about special, because let me tell you, every child is what? Unique, even as you are. Even as you are. So I'm not here to come and say, I want to talk about only special needs children. Whatever you do to a child that is typically developed is what you should do to a what? A child that you feel has special needs. You know why? They are in the same society. We don't have a market for special needs. We don't have a church for special needs. We don't have we may have schools maybe for special needs. But after that school, do they have a home? Is your home for special needs? Don't you have other children? Don't you have other families? So why don't we create an environment that helps them to thrive? Help the people that are around. I always say it. Adults are the problem. We are the problem to the children and to those children. Because we don't create that environment. Whatever you do, anything you do for 21 days becomes a what? It becomes a part and parcel of you. Try it. Every day, wake up by 5 a.m. Set an alarm. What will happen over a period of time? What happened? Mothers, does alarm wake you up again? I remember when I used to sleep. And I'll be telling my mother in blessed memory, Mommy, you can wake up early and be disturbing somebody. You wake up 4 o'clock and you'll be playing. You do this one. When she was talking about prayer, you can't be a sleeping mother. Sleeping. I love sleep. I can't sleep again. I'm waking up by 12 a.m. I want to go and wee. And when I'm coming back, I'm looking at my son. I say, God brought you for a purpose in my life. You will fulfill destiny. I am speaking to him. And I will say to him, I want you before 5 months to sit. I was declaring what I want in him. I was declaring what I want in him. And when I sit, when I'm feeding him, I am saying, you will not select food. Because your mother loves food. Your mother is a great cook. I experiment a lot. So you must eat food. So when he's trying to do his mouth, I say, no, don't worry. You get along with it. It's just a nice try. Well done. And we are doing all, if you see when we are acting, you'll be imagining that. You see my videos. You'll be thinking that, why am I stressed? Somebody come, why are you stressing this boy? I said, I'm not stressing him. I'm building a structure and a routine. Can I tell you what I started teaching him? At 3 months, I said, at birth, not 3 months. While he was in the stomach, the father wakes up before going to work and says, good morning, and smiles. Do you know when he came out? Do you know the first person's voice he recognized? The father's voice. At 2 days old, the father said he looked. I didn't used to talk to him as much as the father does. And I said, wow. So children can hear from this, but wow. Now, do you know what we taught him? We started teaching him to say good morning. He's not responding. But when we are saying good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, we are calling his name and we are saying good morning. And then the boy in my house told me and said, how can I be greeting a small boy? I said, who is a small boy? You have to greet him because you are teaching him. So when he knows that you can greet, he will greet. I said, if you try it for 2 weeks, anytime you greet him, he will smile at you. Now, when he wakes up in the morning, the first thing he will do is, if you don't greet him, there is something odd that is going to, he feels somehow. So when you are anybody that carries him, is a rule. You must be the first person to say good morning. And then he will look at you and smile. Then when I bring him out, if I'm the one bringing him out, I take him to everybody in the house. I'm not rushing. I will take him. Greet this person. Good morning. The person, he will look at you if he's not close to you. Do you know now, when he sees you, the first thing he does is he looks at you first. He doesn't want, no, you can't play with him. He wants to look at you. So the only way you can bond with him, just say good morning, good morning. He says, oh, okay. I think this person is part of my community. But if you are not part, you carry him, he will cry. Do you understand? Now, I've taught him that when you wake up, mommy is sleeping. Take your pacifier and go back to sleep. So you know what? I put the pacifier close to him. So when he wakes up, I'll take his hand put the pacifier in his what? In his mouth. And then he would, guess what now? When he wakes up at night, at least before it's not like immediately start crying, I'll just jump up. I need to gather myself. If not, mothers, you know what BP can do. Any prayer, you just jump up. I need to gather myself, stretch before I come down from the bed. So guess what? The pacifier is there. What he just needs to do, he takes the pacifier, struggles, put it in his mouth, and guess what? He's fine. So now, I don't have worries with he cannot engage himself. If you see the way he engages with toys, so that is preparing a what? Structured environment. If you don't prepare it, the child cannot. The school is a structured environment. Assembly time, learning, numeracy time, literacy time. The child comes to school and has a structured environment, comes back to your house. Just like some of us, as we are entering, we are throwing our bags here. We are flinging our shoe here. And the child comes and says, thank God, I'm home. But in school, do you fling? You have the bag shelf. You have the water bottle shelf. You know how to, when you finish eating, you trash in the trash bin. So why can't we prepare that structure? Reinforce whatever is going on in school. When you go to school, don't only ask about the things that your child is good at. Can you ask, what are the areas that you want me to do what? What are the areas you want me to work on? But our own, no, I've paid school fees. If you know how I suffer, me that I wake up in the morning and go to shop, I will sell, I will go to work. Please, teacher, don't tell me that. Oh, it is not my role to come and teach him homework. It's not my role to come and sit down and be saying, if he doesn't know. At the end of the day, what I used to tell people, whose name is the child bearing? Your name. Anyhow you do, they sack the teacher. The teacher will move on and get another job. Whose child is having the gaps? So we have the key role as parents. And another thing I want us as parents to do going forward, can we offer consistent communication? Do you talk? I'm not asking you to be on edgy with teachers. See, we teachers, we know parents that are interested and motivated. During open day, I'll meet with parents, I'll talk to them, tell them what and what they should do with their children. Guess what? A parent of mine, the child has delay, just about 2 years plus, yeah, thereabouts. And they're twins. And I told her, I said, you have to be intentional between this age to 4 years. If you walk with me with this child, I'm sure to tell you that when somebody sees your child and you say your child had therapy, is not. Now, I speak that because you know why? I get back in, oh, I know to walk alone. I walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Son. And what? And the host of angels. So when I have any child under my care, I have already presented them to the altar of God. So I'm telling the parents, can we be on a journey together? This is not me giving accommodations and recommendation. Because even when I read in the book, I tell the Holy Spirit, give me that insight. That's not my child. That's somebody else's child. So if I can pray for another person's child, by virtue of the fact that I am working with the child, by virtue of the fact that you pay me and I render a service, then you the carrier of a child. What are you saying? Sometimes when I'm talking to mothers, if you see how it's as if I want to hold them like this and say, hey. Sometimes I speak with so much of aggression because I'm like, you can't be a mother and do this. No, you can't. So if you are paying me money, I'm so interested in your child. And I'm looking beyond the money. And I'm saying, let's be on a journey together. Spiritually, psychologically, physically, right? In all areas. Can we go on the journey? And you are doing like this. You are going to suffer. I told her, I said, you know what, this holiday, engage your child in swimming, engage your child. I was listing different activities. Guess what?